You're looking live at Memorial Stadium from Indiana State University at Terre, Haute. Tonight, the 17th edition of the Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association kicks off. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Walensky along with Jan Bozer. And Jan, there has been absolutely explosive growth with this All-Star game.
You know, there really has. Of course, last year they weren't able to play it here. They did have it, but so they were at a facility where some fans could, actually get to see it due to the virus going around. But this year, hey, we're back at Indiana State. A really good crowd on hand. A gorgeous day, a little warm, a little humid. But, hey, just a chance to get to play a little more football. Whet our appetite, Mike, because we're less than a month and a half away when the high school season gets back to full speed ahead.
The beauty of this football game, it is an all-star game. 18 players will move on and play collegiate football. Most will play NAIA or Division III, and a couple are preferred walk-ons here at Indiana State. And so I think we're going to see a really well-balanced football game.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you got good football players. It's well represented here from the Wabash Valley. 35 different schools are eligible to be in this all-star contest. And as a young guy, you just want to play football. You don't care if it's out in your backyard. You don't care where it's at. But to be able to get to play here at Indiana State University, and all these guys know each other, and they're representing not only their self, Mike, but they represent their school as well.
It's gold versus black. Speaking of schools, Chuck Sorrell is the head coach of the black division. The South Putnam Eagles under Chuck last year, 12-1, a dynamic season for him. And Blaine Powell on the other side, the head of the gold division, out of Sullivan, an 8-4 record. He's done a really good job.
Yeah, both really have good seasons. In fact, I was able to cover both South Putnam and Sullivan last year, and there were two teams that just kept getting better and better. Great fan support, and so as a coach, you're being honored here today to be able to be a head coach. And hey, they've got a lot of assistants, because it takes a lot, not only from a coaching staff, but organizational, to put on this great show.
One player to watch on the Gold Squad might be running back Corbin Allen from Northview. 180 carries, 1,243 yards last year. He ran for 10 touchdowns. He also had 18 receptions for a touchdown. This is a young man. It's very versatile, has some quickness, but can expect the gold team and the black probably to throw the ball.
Yeah, you do. You really want to throw the football quite a bit in games like this, because you have such dynamic receivers. On any given high school team, you usually have one really good one and some other that are pretty good. But in a situation like this, Mike, you've got all really good receivers, so you want to take advantage of that.
Well, Jace Russell, number 8, out of Terre Haute North, playing on the black all-star team for Coach Sorrell, threw 183 times with 84 completions, 923 yards. I like the ratio of touchdowns to interceptions. 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He can play quarterback.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and I've never met a quarterback that didn't love to throw the football. They'll nod their head yes, they like the running game, but deep down any QB wants to throw the football. So, hey, they're going to have a little protection. I think they have some restrictions on exactly stunning and blitzing and things of that nature. So they should have plenty of time to be able to find some receivers, and I think they're going to see the ball thrown all over this field.
And on the other side for the Gold Squad, you've got Keegan Garrison out of Northview, the Knights youngster, wear number 10. He completed 93 out of 169 for 1,322 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions for Mark Rates' ball club that really turned the corner. They were 7-3 last year.
Yeah, and the stat you really like about all these quarterbacks is the low turnover ratio of interceptions that they threw. That tells you they're really honed in. They read the field really well. A lot of young kids, Mike, have great arms, but the great quarterbacks see the field, know when to throw it, and anticipate where to throw the football.
And we're going to have, speaking of anticipation, Jan, we're going to have a great football game coming up here between the gold and black. The 17th edition of the Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association here at Memorial Stadium in Indiana State University. You're watching us on the ISC Sports Network.
I'm Brent Compton with Pacesetter Sports. At Pacesetter Sports, we believe you need the proper gear with the right fit. From baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, we have everything. We're very proud to offer all the top brands. We have Under Armour, Nike, North Face, Adidas, Saucony, Brooks, New Balance. We'll match any online price. Come outfit your family here at Pacesetter Sports.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful line experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
It's the 17th annual Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association. I'm Mike Walensky along with Jan Bozer. Jan, what are your keys for tonight's football game?
Well, it's not so much gold and black as it just keys overall for an all-star game. On offense, you got to limit mistakes. You know, you don't have a lot of reps with the players surrounding you, so don't make a lot of mistakes. Don't turn it over. Of course, that's probably keys for any good football game, but specifically for an all-star game, just really try to limit the mistakes. And on defense, make a play. In a game like this, making a play could make the difference sometimes between winning and losing in an all-star football type caliber ball game.
Chuck Sorrell, the head football coach at South Putnam, now running the black squad, pointed out 4 key players on his lineup tonight. One of them is one of his kids, Hayden Switzer. Hayden had 50 receptions this past year for 10 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards receiving. Parker Hacker, an outstanding linebacker at 91 stops. Brett Barger out of Indian Creek, he said, take a look at him. He's an outstanding player and a guy that has not been signed yet by anybody. Antonio Nieves, number 20 out of South Vermilion, had 12 touchdowns and 625 yards, and he looks like an athlete out there.
You know, and I've had a lot of all-star games through the years, and believe it or not, there's always a few players that get a look either via TV or some coaches here, so you just never know. So for those kids that still perhaps want to play football and maybe have a shot at going there, make a play. Guess what? You're on TV, and somebody may see you, so you just don't ever know.
You just never know. And right now, what we do know is there's a toss down in the center field here at Memorial Stadium. The conditions here, it's pretty hot and humid, and you talked about as an offensive lineman, it can be kind of difficult.
Well, anytime there's heat and running for an offensive lineman, those two don't go get together, do they? Our spotter back here plays for St. Francis. I played more defense than offense, but hey, you adapt. But, the thing you don't have here is you don't have a ton of conditioning that's been going on to prepare you for this. So it's a little warm. It was game time temps about 87, 88. The thing that always got me as a football player is the humidity. The heat's one thing, but when you have the humidity, it can get a little dicey sometimes. So they'll need to keep plenty of water going today, that's for sure.
The good news is at game time, the wind is about 8 to 10 miles an hour. There is a wind blowing out here at the stadium, although it is kind of warm outside at about 86 degrees. And frankly, there is a really nice crowd out here.
These guys are 18, 19, somewhere in that years old. They don't care. The heat doesn't bother them. They want to play football. They'll have fun. I listened to a lot of news clips over here in Terre, Haute this past week, and what really impressed me, Mike, was just the enthusiasm to play another football game. Play it against people they knew, play it against people they played against. But at the end of the day, they were all just excited to play football.
Speaking of great football players, Carver Queen, number 2 from Sullivan, may be an impact player to watch, playing for his own coach, Blaine Powell, in this all-star game. As the Gold Squad gets ready to kick off here, they deferred to the second half, and they will kick off from their own 40-yard line.
Well, and a lot of times in these ball games, kicking game can be a huge factor. If you can keep your opponent pinned deep and really force them to play a lot of offense, that can be to your advantage. Let's see how the kickers do today.
We are underway at Indiana State from the 26-yard line. Down to the right side, and knocked down is number 39, Connor Lutz from Terre Haute North with the return. About an 18-yard return for the Black Squad to start this one off. 1st and 10, Jan, with 11:54 to go here in the first.
Yeah, that's a pretty good return by Lutz. He avoided a couple of tackles, and what you want to do here, we talked about the kickers. Now the receiving team, they gave their offense some pretty good field position to get this thing started.
Taking a look at the Black running out of the spread offense. Most of these teams in this All-Star game will run out of that. It's probably the easiest system to teach. Here's a handoff to Switzer. Switzer turns, barrels forward to the 46-yard line. A solid run. And Hayden Switzer, as I talked about, was a phenomenal receiver, but he can also run the football.
Yeah, and a really nice hold there off that one gap for him. And if you can get the running game going early, that really kind of helps your passing game.
Ball brought to the 45-yard line, stopped by Quinn.
Carver Queen, we just mentioned him earlier. He was the guy that made the tackle that came up from a safety slot to drop down Switzer after a 7-yard gain. Down the middle, the ball is caught, intended
Well, I'll tell you,
for number 2, Xander Wilbur out of West Vigo. Nice toss by Russell.
Yeah, it was a nice toss, really in stride. But, boy, that's a tough one coming across the middle here because you know you're going to get whacked. The ball was right there, wasn't able quite to bring it in. He took a shot.
There is an injured player down at the black 49-yard line. And I really can't see. Do you see who that is?
It's
number 2 in the black.
Number 2 for
Xander Wilbur out of West Vigo.
Yeah, just mentioned him a few minutes ago.
And he's down.
Looks like he got the air knocked out of him. He's trying to get composed here, and that's never a fun thing. When you get the air knocked out of you, it just takes a while to gather yourself. Hopefully he's all right. Well, he's kind of hobbling a little bit. Maybe took a shot to the knee or ankle, but hopefully he can just walk it off and get back in.
3rd and about 3.5 for the black.
That was a well-thrown ball, though. Very well thrown. That's tough, though. Over the middle, though, you got to know as a receiver what's going to happen, but you just got to take one for the team.
They give to Switzer. He gets away. 45.
Look out.
Hayden Switzer, 30. He's out of bounds at about the 26-yard line after a great spin move on the right side by Hayden Switzer. It is a first down for the black division, and Chuck Sorrell and his staff has to be really happy about that.
Yeah, Switzer with a nice breakout, I should say, around that right side. You mentioned Switzer from South Putnam, and I remember seeing him play this past year. He's got really good quick. His first step is really nice and quick. You know, so many people talk about the overall 40 speed. For me, it's that first or second step that really defines a good runner.
28-yard line, first down. Jace Russell out of the shotgun for the black. 2 wides to the right, 2 wides to the left. Looks like some heavy heat coming from the right side, and he is going to go down. That's a sack. About a yard loss as the goal did a great job crashing down inside. The tackle was made by number 12, Elias Gordon from Northview. He's a player to watch. He had an outstanding season last year for Northview's ball club. We talked about in the pregame Northview and Mark Rates, that ball club, 7-3. The Knights have really turned the corner. 2nd and long now for the black.
Yeah, it was a really good defensive move to get in there and get that stop behind the line of scrimmage.
Russell against the 4-man front. The give to the left side, breaks a tackle. That's Nieves. He's down to the 23-yard line. You show that burst down on the left side, and the tackle is made.
Nieves on the ball carry.
I believe that's number 12 for the gold.
I think it's Gordon again.
Gordon again,
Yeah.
Elias Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, Elias Gordon's now made at least 2 quick stops here for the gold team. He slowed down here, but take a look at the hit here. I'll tell you what, Gordon likes to hit. I like that. You know, good teams, good high school teams are always really good, clean, hard-hitting teams.
Blitz coming on the inside and an offsides penalty as Zach Schick make that number 19 for gold. Make Aiden Mackey, number 18, I believe, cross the line of scrimmage. And gold will be penalized for an offsides infraction. That'll give them a first down. And that is the first entry into the Matt Wren Realty Red Zone. The Matt Wren Realty Red Zone, first down for the black. Marching here in the first quarter on their first drive. And a nice job engineered so far by quarterback Jace Russell.
Yeah, and what you really want to do in these types of games is get a little rhythm, a little momentum going. I think right now the black has a little bit of momentum, and when you reach the red zone now, can you produce some points?
Russell, blitz looking off the corner. Fake handoff. No, he gives it to this running back. And coming off the corner there quickly they were able to make the tackle very, very fast, and that's number 1 on the gold that came off the corner. That's Grant Bell out of Sullivan making the stop.
Yeah, and White Brandt, as you mentioned there, with a nice stop as well. Tough on the defense here. Offense knows where they're going. Defense doesn't, and without a lot of practice time, you don't have a lot of blitz packages. Everything's pretty much base defense. You're just playing football here.
Nieves, the sole back. Russell looks, gets hit, and down he goes. And again, tremendous pressure up front by the gold. And that has to be a real thrill for Blaine Powell, the Sullivan Ball Club, as number 34, I believe it was Ty Rollins from Eastern Green, was able to come up and make the tackle.
Yeah, I think that might have been Troy Metzer. We have 3 34s, and I think it's Metzer. But let's see who's right. When you turn, there it is. Hey, one for the home team, baby.
You got it.
That's one.
Troy Metzger out of Oblong Pal Hut was able to make the tackle. And you know what's really unique, too, about this All-Star game, you got teams from Eastern Illinois joining forces here in the Wabash Valley. It's kind of nice to see that. Russell getting pressure, spins, looks downfield, covered, down the middle, dropped. Great defensive effort there by the goal to knock the football out of his hands. That was number 1. I think that was Grant Bell on the coverage.
Yeah, it was the receiver has to come back here. There's a lot of pressure. So as a receiver, you would never want to stop running and then come back to the football if you feel your quarterback's in trouble. And he does a pretty good job of this, just once again not able to hang on.
It'll be 4th down. They were inside the Matt Wren Realty zone, but a couple sacks have brought the football back to the 23. It'll be 4th and long. It'll be 15 yards to go. They will not kick a field goal here, as Jace Russell's calling the shots here at quarterback for the Black. Russell, 2-step drop, looks downfield to the left side, and it's picked off. 10, 20. Gets a block and goes out of bounds. And that ball was intercepted by the gold by number 2, Carver Queen. We talked about him earlier. Comes up with a big interception of Jace Russell.
Well, the interception's not so bad because it's nothing more than if you will, a long punt. But what's huge here is the return. He really gives the gold team really good field position. I mean, you don't like interception. If you're going to give one up down that deep's not that big a deal, but he was able to really bring back the ball just shy of the 40-yard line. I like the call, though. Black went for it. He was pretty well, his receiver was well covered, just the ball was underthrown a little bit.
1st and 10 for the gold from the 39. The quarterback is Keegan Garrison. And they give up the middle and maybe a yard, and they're still pushing the pile there before the whistle blows. Good effort there by the goal. These kids are really fun. I think both coaches really felt comfortable and confident that they've got a lot of leaders. They're easy to coach. They're able to implement their systems quite quickly.
Yeah, we talked about it. These kids, and as it continues, you continue to play here a little bit. You get a little warm. You get a little edgy. I guarantee you as this game goes on, the hitting's going to pick up here even because it now turns into a game. It was all all-star talk. Now it's a game.
A 2-yard gain there. Good defensive effort there. I believe that was Lutz coming in and making the stop for the Black squad.
Looks like number 19.
Gavin Dorn on the ball carrier. 3rd down for the goal.
Couldn't quite see his name. How many 19s we got? We got 2. Sonato, I believe, is the one who made the tackle there.
And Gavin Dorn was the ball carrier, number 24. Here's a little screen play, and there's a flag. There may have been a block in the back. They're going to call this one back as Dorn is still traveling around the 30-yard line, knocked out of bounds. But this is coming back.
Yeah, it's a tough play. It's actually a pretty cool call for an all-star game because the screen pass usually is one of those have to develop type plays. See, and he actually sells it pretty well, and you got the lineman out there. There's clearly the block in the back. That's a tough call because that lineman's out there kind of waiting, and things just didn't develop in an angle that he could stay away from hitting him in the back. That happens a lot of times on screen plays.
That's a huge penalty against the Gold squad here.
6:18 left here in this first half or first period of play.
One of our sponsors tonight is Terre Haute Convention Visitors Bureau. The Terre Haute Convention Visitors Bureau would like to welcome all fans and congratulate the participants in the 17th Annual Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. Gold Squad with a football, third down, and long. Garrison out of Northview High School. Screen to the wide receiver on the far side. Great job railing to the football for the Black. I believe that was Austin Nuttall.
Yeah, what you're trying to do there is just get the ball in the hands of some speed. Just a quick slant in.
Actually, it was Jacob Mitchell out of Marshall, Illinois, was able to make the tackle, just a couple-yard gain, and now the Gold's forced to punt.
Yeah, you never know in a play like that. If you can just get maybe a quick inside slant and break a couple tackles with speed, you just never know, but pretty well defended by the Black squad.
Gold will punt, 4th and 11. Good protection. Taken at the 34, and he is down at the 36-yard line. A really nice effort.
Yeah, it was a good tackle, open field
Grant
tackle by the Gold team. Really a pretty good job, just kind of allowing not much of return.
That was Grant Bell, number 1, coming down and making the tackle for Coach Powell, Sullivan Arrows Gold team here at Memorial Stadium, and the Black takes over. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Scoreless here in the first quarter. The Black had a great drive there, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. I thought they got some things going here. Both teams are still just trying to get a little rhythm. And the other thing you got is because in an all-star type environment, you're going to play a lot of kids. So about the time you get a little bit of momentum and consistency going, then you shift out players a little bit. So it's truly something you just continue to try to develop.
Nieves getting rushed by a couple guys. Great attack by the Gold. Coming up from the backside and making the tackle there. And a loss of a couple yards for number 20, Antonio Nieves out of South Vermilion.
Yeah, what you do here is just keep your base square. So these quick little running backs, they're the most difficult to bring down. And he does a good job of staying low, keeping his base wide, and making a good tackle.
Try Rollins from Eastern Green is credited with the tackle here. And that's a tackle for loss. 2nd and 14 after a loss of 4 for Nieves. Switzer now plays in the slot or the H-back position for the Black. Nieves is the running back. This is Nieves off the right side. He's across the 37-yard line, almost to the 40. Nice job by Nieves. Now they got a chance to either run or throw the ball on 3rd down.
Well, you're probably going to think about throwing maybe a screen pass, but you got to find your best 7-yard play here. Yeah, he was able to get a pretty good run here to at least get them something that's feasible in the passing game. So you need your receivers right now. Key here is know where the first down is. Don't come up a yard or two short. Find the first down marker, make your cut there.
3rd and 7 for the Black. Jace Russell, the quarterback, getting some pressure off the edge. He's going to take it up the middle. 45, he's got a block. 50, first down for the Black. Jace Russell scrambling down the middle of the field. He picks up a first down.
Or you have a quarterback that just decides he can find a first down and just do it, right? Hey, I talked about the keys again, make a play. And he made a play, and he was able to get his team a first down. He looks, reads, nothing there. And somehow he found a little gap there, and he knows where he's got to get to, and he got there.
And a nice block there by Hayden Switzer. He talked about his ability to catch and run the football, but this young man, number 3 out of South Putnam, he can block too. Russell out of the shotgun. 4-man front for the Gold. Nieves, 45. He's got some space, got a block downfield. Inside the 30 and a first down for the Black as they're marching once again.
Well, what I like so much about Nieves is he never stops moving his legs. Whether he's got 1 or 4 guys hanging on him, great coaching. Now take a look at his legs here. This is just a well-coached environment. Take a look at here. He's going to get hit. Never stops the legs. Never stops the legs. If you're not going to hit me low, my legs are going to move, and I'm going to move.
First down for the Black at the 30.
Black's got a little rhythm going here, Mike.
They are moving the football. The issues that they had earlier in their first possession was protecting the quarterback. If they can find a way to protect Jace Russell, they'll be able to capitalize and score points in this All-Star game. Gold showing blitz. Nieves, 30, inside the 25. Boy, he lowers his pads and gets through that
Yeah,
gap.
he does. And quite honestly, if you're the black team right now, if you're on the ground, you're getting big chunks of yardage. You're not going to pass. You're going. And what you might do is find a passing play because your running game is going so well, and because those safeties and linebackers are going to just keep cheating up, and then next thing they know, you get a quick pass over the top of one of them.
2nd and 4 after a gain of 6 for Nieves. Russell. Receivers are covered.
That's a free 5.
And a legal procedure. It appeared to me.
That's going to be all against the offense.
Yeah.
I thought they may have got that left defensive tackle, but he pointed to the other side, and the official agreed with him. I always liked that as a defensive player when the official agreed with me because I always said I was never wrong.
Cantor Welch from Owen Valley, number 34. He actually may have been lined off sides too as well. It was possible.
Yeah.
The flag was thrown right in front of him, but nevertheless, it's still 2nd and 9 for the Black, and they've got the football in gold territory. And we're playing this one in the first period of action here at Indiana State's Memorial Stadium. Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association. Russell to Nieves off the right side, and he is hammered at about the 27-yard line. A really nice play by the Gold.
Mike, you know what I used to do as a defensive tackle? I'd start talking to the offensive tackle so he couldn't pay attention to the snap and try to divert him from listening very well. And after a while, they get really disturbed me doing that. But a time or two, it worked because they couldn't hear the quarterback and they'd go all sides. Little trick of the trade, Mike. I won't charge you for that.
3rd down for the Black. 7 yards to go. Again, if the Black can find protection for Russell, they've got a chance to move this football, get it closer to that Matt Wren Realty red zone. Russell looking downfield, getting pressure, and he's going to go down.
Well, that's a sack coverage right there. There was nowhere to go to throw the football. The secondary does a pretty good job of spacing with those receivers, and he just didn't have any time because the receivers made no separation and the pressure got to him. Take a look. He looks. Look, he's got enough time. Just no separation from those receivers, and the pressure gets to him.
The sack made by Brock Carrington, Jan, from Greencastle. Brock Carrington and his brother Logan Carrington, outstanding players for Coach Myers' Greencastle Ball Club that finished the season at 6-5. The Carringtons are outstanding football players. Beautiful punt.
That is a good punt.
And it's fumbled and picked up by the Black.
There's the mistake. I talked earlier. Mistakes are always bad in a football game, but when you've just not had a lot of reps in handling the high punt in the sun, it makes it difficult. And here's an opportunity now for the Black squad with down in the red zone, an opportunity.
Down in that Matt Wren Real Estate red zone.
So he calls for a fair catch. I don't know if he loses in the sun or not, and just bounces off of him right where the opportunity comes for the Black squad.
That's unfortunate for Grant Bell's. Had a really outstanding defensive game for Coach Sullivan so far, or Coach Powell from Sullivan here in this first period of play.
See if they can get this in with 31 seconds left here in the first period.
Russell at quarterback, out of the shotgun here for the Black. Switzer, right side. He can score touchdowns at will. He's been outstanding. This past year had 10 touchdowns running for Coach Sorrell's ball club, the South Putnam Eagles. He gets a couple yards down to about the 2.
Brock Carrington from Greencastle, one of the tacklers out there for the Gold Squad. The Tigers of Greencastle.
They've had some outstanding football seasons recently. I remember a game with the South Putnam Eagle Ball Club that went down to the wire, and we have completed the first quarter of play with a score 0-0. Gold and Black. You're watching the 17th edition of the Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association on the ISC Sports Network.
Connecting rural communities since 1952, Wabash Communications has committed to keeping you connected, providing broadband services even in remote areas, like high-speed fiber optic internet with speeds up to 1 gig, unlimited local and long-distance voice services, and crystal clear video picture and sound, along with other additional benefits. We strive to connect one town to another. We didn't create the communities in rural Illinois, we just helped connect them. Service speeds and availability will depend on location. Certain restrictions may apply. Contact us for complete details.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Endeavor Communications. Endeavor congratulates these gold members, Logan and Brock Carrington, Trey Goodman, Damien and Landon Giles, Brian Oliver, Hunter Ray, and Ethan Payne for their selection of the Wabash Valley All-Star team, and wish them success or whatever the next endeavor is for each of them. And Jan?
Yeah, at the end of the first quarter and each quarter, each of the coaching staff from each division selects a player to receive a $500 scholarship. This is for leadership, sportsmanship, and dedication to the game. This year's winners from the gold division, Brady Schaefer, Edgewood High School, and from the black, Hayden Switzer from South Putnam. Congratulations to both those young men. This year, the organization will go over the $100,000 mark of giving out scholarships. That's something pretty special, isn't it?
It is special. That's a great number because throughout the state, there are a lot of areas and pockets of high school football that do not have high school all-star football games. And this year alone, Tom Jones from Pacesetter, the organizer for this tournament, talked about the fact that they'll raise $6,000 alone this year.
Yeah, and it's good to see people like Tom and others that are so dedicated to keeping this thing going. There used to be a lot of all-star games, and they really have kind of dwindled down to not very many. So this is really special not only for these kids, but for this area of, quite honestly, one of the few all-star football games even still left for high school, and I just think it's something special.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, and for the black team, they're making it special right now. They can make it even more so if they can score a touchdown. They have been moving this football as we start the second period of play. Jace Russell in the backfield with Nieves. Russell out of the shotgun. He gives to Nieves. Right side, he's in. Touchdown, black.
Yeah, you're not stopping him. Look at his angle of pursuit when he runs. If you don't hit a young man low like him, you're not going to bring him down, and that's why he scored so many points, because of his ability to stay so low to the ground, get his shoulders square, and a lot of momentum. And those types of runners are just so difficult to bring down, especially around the goal line.
Coming in to kick for the black, I believe this is Riley Stone out of Cascade. Holding for the black, it's number 34, Connor Welch from Owen Valley for the extra point for the black. And there it is.
Yes, he got it.
The extra point is good.
Black, 7. Gold, nothing. We'll be back after these messages on the ISC Sports Network.
7, gold division 0.
I'm Brent Compton with Pacesetter Sports. At Pacesetter Sports, we believe you need the proper gear with the right fit. From baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, we have everything. We're very proud to offer all the top brands. We have Under Armour, Nike, North Face, Adidas, Saucony, Brooks, New Balance. We'll match any online price. Come outfit your family here at Pacesetter Sports.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No way.
Ernest. Yeah. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
Taking a look at these fans from Memorial Stadium in Indiana State, a great turnout for the 17th edition of the Wabash Valley Football Coaches Association and the black squad. Jan Boser's gone out in front. Great running game.
Yeah, it really was. They stuck to the ground and really got some momentum going. And for them, with the touchdown, boy, you look out, and it really is a nice crowd. Mr. Jones was telling me earlier on that this game used to be held at Rose-Hulman, but they outgrew it and were able to come here to Indiana State, where there's obviously plenty of room and has really fit them very well.
And right now, it'll be Gold football as they recovered it on a short kick at about the 36-yard line. And we don't expect a lot of outstanding kicking in this game, but it is, a matter of fact, an important aspect of this.
It is. You're going to get a kicker mad at you, Mike.
Well, that could be.
He hits the winning points. You know, kickers, they're kind of a breed of their own.
Garrison at quarterback. And the give is Gavin Dorn from Richland County, who carries across the left side, and he fumbled the football.
Sure does.
And the black has recovered, and it's number 25 who came up with it. I believe that was Shea Andrews from West Vigo.
Well, he took a shot, and once again, reps have a funny way of, when you don't have a lot of reps, of carrying the football, getting hit. It's something you haven't done for a few weeks now, and he took a pretty good shot, and that ball just got jarred loose, and so once again, limit the mistakes, and a couple mistakes now have hurt this Gold Ball Club, and boy, you just handed the black squad in their own territory, 41-yard line, Mike.
New quarterback now in for the black. It's number 14, Dawson Delape from Casey. He'll be in a position now where he's skippering this black offense. The handoff off the left side. I believe this is number 3. That's Hayden Switzer. He's near the first down. Hayden has had an outstanding ball game.
I tell you, Grant Bell, I believe, number 1, makes an arm tackle here. If he doesn't reach this arm out at the last second, this may have went clear to the end zone, but at the last second, I'm pretty sure it's number 1. Take a look here, right there. Now look, boom, right there. He literally pulls a shoestring to pull his feet out. He doesn't do that, and that's 6. It's a pretty cool play.
Second down and short from the 35. Again, Switzer, left side. Switzer to the 32. Great job of breaking down that running game by the Gold. I think that was Carrington again coming up with the tackle.
Number 50, Parker Jordan on the stop.
Big third down play here, third and about 3.
Actually, Riley Stone is in the lineup at quarterback, the former South Putnam Eagle, instead of Delape from Casey. And the give to Nieves.
That's easy first down.
Wow, 25-yard line he goes. The black offensive line, Jan, doing a great job.
Yeah, that's a great call because they really are getting off the football. That's any lineman knows. It's just about you and desire and getting off the football. And the better you come off the football, the better off you're going to do blocking. And right now, the offensive line doing a really good job for their squad.
It'll be first down and 10 for the black. And let me tell you, I've seen Riley Stone play at quarterback for South Putnam. He can throw the football. The Gold will be under assault if he gets the ball in the air. Nieves, great job by the Gold in penetration. Another tackle for loss.
Well, that was penetration before he even almost handed the football off. That's a really good stop by the Gold squad. Didn't quite see who was underneath that big pile up to make that stop. But, man, he was through that front line before the ball carrier really even got the ball.
Brock Carrington was able to make the tackle out of Greencastle. Now, he and Logan Carrington, along with receiver from Cascade, Zarek Chmielewski, will be headed to Marion.
Oh, he's got a man open.
And this one is picked.
Underthrew him.
Yep.
He's seen his man, had him the whole way on that quick fly pattern, and just wasn't able to get enough on it because he had a step on him. But the ball was underthrown, and so instead of 6, it was intercepted.
Carver Queen gets his second interception of the ball game.
Now take a look at this. He's got the man beat. See, he's got the man beat by about 4 or 5 yards, and the ball just underthrown. But he literally had to throw that thing a country mile to get it that far.
Fund at Riley. 100%.
The other thing to remember, they're throwing the ball into the wind.
Yeah, that's a good point, because that wind is coming right at his face in that position. That's a good point. Because he really gave everything he had to get that thing out there, but just didn't quite have enough to get that distance into the wind.
So the Gold comes up with a big turnover. They've had a couple in this ball game to keep themselves within striking distance here in the second period, down 7-0.
Well, I think we're going to have a timeout, I believe. I think we're taking a water break. That's what we're doing.
Smart move to take the water break, as we talked about the temperatures here in the high 80s and the humidity is pretty strong. Let's take a look at one of our sponsors in tonight's game, Daviess County Economic Development. The Daviess County Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau would like to congratulate Josh Krusenklaus and Alex Duffy at North Daviess High School for playing tonight's WVFCA All-Star Game. Daviess County is a place to do something great. That's go relax and enjoy all this when you visit Daviess County. And let me tell you about Jacob Krusenklaus. He's heading to DePaul. Okay. He's going to be a Tiger, so he's a football player. We know that program has been outstanding over a wide number of years.
Yeah, DePaul football is super good, been good through the years, and of course, you know, when they get together with Wabash, one of the best rivalries known to man.
And you know what? While we have a chance, why don't you talk about some of these kids who are moving on to play NAIA Division III, maybe even Division II?
Well, let's see. Our spotter's here. He goes to St. Francis. Let's see if he's going to get any teammates here. I don't see anybody going to St. Francis.
You better go down there.
Yeah, Marion's picked up a few here. Wittenberg, that's a good school over in Ohio. Augusta, Hanover, that's in the NAIA. Marion.
As we resume play.
And Wabash.
The Wabash Valley Football
you know,
Association.
NAIA football. A lot of people don't know a lot about NAIA football or basketball for that, but our spotter behind us, of course, he knows all about it. St. Francis went to the finals many a time. Marion's won it. St. Francis has won it. And so that it's really good
toss
football.
Sweep. I think we got a safety upcoming. There it is. 2 points for the Black.
Yeah, that's making a play. We talked about a key in a defensive effort is just make a play. He really does a good job here of getting out the football. Let's take a look. This is a good angle to see his angle of pursuit. See, the ball's a little late getting to him, and that's
79. Caden McMahon was the guy that created the safety out of South Vermilion. The Black has been opportunistic every step of the way, with the exception of a couple turnovers in this ball game. And they take the lead 9-0 as we take a break here. And we talked a little bit about some of these programs that are picking up these kids. Well, Mitchell Box going to Wabash, Dawson DeLappy, we've mentioned him, going to Franklin, A.J. Cox going to Beloit, Zarek Chmielewski to Marion, along with the two brothers, Logan Carrington, Brock Carrington from Greencastle, Luke Cook on his way to Franklin. Kurt Mallory at Indiana State has two outstanding preferred walk-ons that we see here. We saw Jace Russell at quarterback, and Corbin Allen, an outstanding running back, will come here to Terre Haute to play his college football. Dylan Zenko will go to Anderson. Parker Hacker will go to Franklin. And Jeff Goebel to Eureka. And we mentioned earlier Jacob Krusenklaus from Daviess County, who will be heading to play for the DePaul Tigers. So we've got a lot of talent here, as the Gold will have to kick off here after the safety.
Good to hear my Ravens getting a good player. Anderson Ravens.
And here's the kick.
You can either punt it or kick it. He's going to punt it after a safety.
And this one is
not real far.
You got to hold on to it, and he drops forward at about the 47-yard line after a short return, and the Black will have the football, and they'll be in great shape.
Yeah, and the safety is one of a very unique play in football, because more often than not, you get the ball after you just scored two. You usually get the ball in really good field position. And if you're not careful, you could just turn the whole game, because you get two and you get good field position. And if you're an offense, you go, man, we can really lay a killer punch here. Let's see what happens.
Riley Stone stays in the ball game for the Black. Former South Putnam Eagle quarterback. He engineered that ball club to a 12-run record. This is Antonio Nieves. Inside the 40, that is a first down. Great run off the left side
on the ball
by Nieves.
Tripped up by number 13.
He's just striding through the line now. He's got great, look at his stride here after he gets going. Talked about his first couple of steps. Now watch, when he gets in the open field, quick shift left, and his strides are just almost a yard a stride, which really gets him good yardage.
They gave him 9. I thought that was a first down, but it's actually short of the marker. They moved the football back. Apparently his knee touched earlier. Doesn't matter. Nieves, 40, gets the first down to the 35-yard line. And you mentioned he's got quick feet.
Well, he does, and he sees the field left and right or forward. You're going to see a move here as he quickly cuts outside. And that's, for me, always the sign of a really good running back, is when he hits and sees a tackler come, he's got that quick feet and can shift left or right. And that last play really makes a quick shift left. Now for a first down, that's really all he cared about.
35-yard line for the Black. Stone. Shotgun. Pressure coming to his left. 4 down linemen, but it looks like an outside backer, and another one is creeping up, and the Black wants a timeout. I think that confused Riley Stone a little bit. He wants a timeout. We'll come over and talk to the coaching staff, and with that, we'll take a break here on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Back at Memorial Stadium as Riley Stone rolled out to his right. He was looking for a receiver downfield. The ball slightly underthrown, but there is a flag on the play, and it may be a hold on the far side of the field against the Black.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, in an all-star game, for them to call holding, you have to be super holding, because they try not to be super nitpicky in an all-star game. So I guarantee you, if that flag was thrown, there was a little cha-cha going on dancing, because he was holding pretty good.
15-yard penalty. That'll mark football way back at the gold 49-yard line for the Black. It'll be first and long from there. Four wide receivers employed by the Black. This is going to open up the field on the inside. Let's see if Nieves gets the football. There he is. 50, 45, gets a block down to the 40. Ball fumbled on the ground and is recovered by the goal.
Yeah, I think it got punched loose there at the last second, because as he makes the turn, I think somebody from the goal squad got a hand on it, kind of punched it loose. Let's take a look here on the replay. He's kind of really carrying that thing out there. See, it's stripped from behind what happened, but he's not. That time he really just had that football kind of in his right arm, kind of open, and when you're running and somebody comes from behind you, that's a great opportunity to slap that thing loose, and that's what happened.
Austin Nuttall from Richland County recovers. The swipe there was from Brock Carrington out of Greencastle, as we talked about, en route to Marion University, where he'll become a Knight. Receiver screen left side, met at the 46-yard line and pounded. That was Grant Bell, the receiver. Good job defensively by the Black.
Pass to Nuttall.
Yeah, the Gold Squad's really tried this quick pass out in the flats a couple times to get it to their speed, and really haven't been able to develop that much. Really good coverage by the Black squad.
Second and about 7. And the give. Flag is thrown in the middle of the field as he cuts up front for about 3 yards. Preliminary call, holding on the offense.
Flag on the play, holding.
All right, this is an all-star game. They give you some free advice on offensive linemen. If you're an offensive lineman, you see the flag, get out of there because the film's running, and you never, as an offensive lineman, want to watch film when you're the one called for holding. So always, as soon as you see a flag, run out of there. So you hope that maybe they think your guard or whatever position, the guy next to you, that he did it. Because, see, in high school, I think in college now, I'm not sure, do they call out the number of the penalty? They might.
Yes, yes, they do.
In college, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so if they call your number, you point to the other guy. But see, in high school, you get away with it because they don't call the number. So just get out of the way so they think somebody else does it. So there's another trick of the trade, Mike.
Garrison, 3-step drop, downfield. Looking for Bill. He turns and he threw it out of bounds. Great coverage there on the far side by Gabe Langley out of South Putnam.
I'll tell you, that ball was thrown very well. He put some muscle in that boy. Just